Hello party people, hope you're having a great day today. This video is about Evercore Heroes. So you've heard about Evercore Heroes, it's a new mobile competitive PvE game that's coming out. So I thought I would, having played some of the playtests and really enjoying it and being absolutely pumped about it, and being active in the Discord for Evercore Heroes and interacting with the community so much, I thought it might be a good idea to just say, hey, here's a video you can link to your friends and your party people to say, here's some basic info. And along the way, I picked up Izzy, who is one of the Veil Wardens, and she's helping me out with the video. Originally, it was meant to be one video, but obviously now it's going to be a two-part video, so this is video 1 of 2. It's essentially going over all the founders packs, the basic way the heroes works, what to expect for the talents when they come out in the closed beta, and just general info about the closed beta and how that's going to work, and a bit more info than is easy to access about the founders passes. And then the second video will be me going through a few of the base mechanics of the game, because if you've played MOBAs before, a lot of it might be straightforward, but there's a lot of stuff that's added from the game that is unique to Evercore. So if you're excited about that one, go check that one out. It'll be up in a couple of days after this one, so be sure to just stay tuned for that. But with that said, I'll let Izzy do the rest. Take it away.
Hey everyone, Izzy here, or Izzy for short, as a lot of my friends call me nowadays as well. A gamer, cosplayer and streamer since 1.5 years as well. Mostly indie games, variety streamer, and also some other bigger games interspersed in there, with soon Evercore Heroes to be added there as well. Evercore Heroes, I've been part of their community for over 1.5 years now and have seen it grow from placeholders and just one map and not a clear gameplay loop to what it is now, almost ready for closed beta, and after that of course the open beta and the launch itself. Very stoked to see what the game is gonna be like once it's actually finished, and also very stoked to see what the community's reaction is gonna be. As I said, I've been part of that community already for 1.5 years. It's been amazing. The devs have given me the opportunity to be part of the volunteer team there as well on the Discord, so helping out around as one of the Veil Wardens. Now we're very close to closed beta. The purpose of this video though is to explain to you guys what Evercore Heroes is, what are the basic mechanics and everything, so you guys can jump in at least a little bit informed and not completely lost, because it is quite of a new type of game. It has elements you will recognize from other games, but also some twists and turns you might not expect, or that are quite different and make it very interesting to see how this game works. So, to start off with, we'll be talking a bit about the closed beta itself. For this, you will have to spend some money. There are 3 different founders packs, 3 different tiers, each more expensive than the last, of course. But to be fair, they do give some really cool items with it, so it's not just buy access to the game and that's it. With the base founder packs, for instance, it's €20 or $20. You will be getting 1 closed beta key for yourself, 1 for a friend, and then for yourself as well, you will be adding a founders battle pass, 2 extra heroes on top of the 4 base heroes you're going to be getting either way, so your friend will get those 4 as well. Those 4 being the healer Biko, the tank Finn, the DPS's Shade, and Zari. If you get the first founders pack, you also get support character Lotus and the tank Sidian as extra. If you go for a little bit more expensive, it's €50. It will build on top of the last tier, so it will have the closed beta for you and your friend. It will have the founders pass. It will have Lotus and Sidian as extra characters on top of the base 4, but will also add Blink to that roster. For Blink, it will also give you an extra skin. It will give you an exclusive role on the Discord to show off that you were part of the beta test from the start or somewhere along the way. It will give you €10 or $10 of in-game currency for you to spend on the shop in there, and it will give you a legendary beta magic graph. For the hero pack, which is the highest tier of these, they cost you €80 or $80 depending on your currency. It will give you closed beta access for yourself, but it will also add 3 keys for 3 of your friends to play along with you. So that means you can jump in right away with your team of 4 people and have fun with those 3 other friends. It will also give you the Founders Battle Pass, it will give you Lotus and Sidian, and of course Blink, but also add Cinder as DPS to your roster. It will give you a skin for both Blink and for Cinder. It will give you an exclusive role on the Discord, just like the Legend one. It will give you 15 euros of in-game currency. It will give you the legendary beta magic graph, but also one specific to Cinder, an emote for Cinder, and then a featuring on the Wall of Heroes. For these packs, as you've heard, each of them has a Founders Battle Pass. These battle passes are battle passes that will never ever expire, so you can take as long as you want to complete it, to get the skins that are part of it, get the emotes, the magic crafts, everything that those battle passes give. We have magic crafts in there, which for me was the first time ever hearing this type of item. A magic craft, from the explanation we got, is some sort of item. You place that on the ground. You could maybe compare it to a beacon, I'm guessing, which projects an image not just on your version of the map, but also of the 3 other teams that are competing at that point against you. So I could see it being used like put it on an objective you just captured to taunt the other team that you saw was trying to get it as well.
Don Corleone, give me justice. Should I ask with respect?
Little things like that, or just to say hi to them if you want to be friendly. There's a lot of ways you could go with this from what I heard. Last thing from that list that might be like, what the heck is it, is the Wall of Heroes. To be fair, we, as a community that have been part of the Discord for quite a while, we have no clue either. We have been trying to coax the answer out of the developers, but they're being very cagey, very tight-lipped, and not wanting to let us know what the Wall of Heroes is. So I guess we'll find out over time. Closed beta itself is estimated to last for about 3 to 4 months.
Editor has here, the closed beta is estimated to be 3 to 4 months, like she said. But after the closed beta, it will go into open beta. During the open beta, it's free to everyone. And then once the game releases, it will be free to play as well. So yeah, just a small side note there.
So it will be almost 24/7 that the servers will be up. Maybe for some patches or some hot fixes here and there, they'll have to take it down for like an hour or so. But they are planning to keep it up for as much as possible in that period of time, up to fall. In the time, they will be gathering as much feedback as they can about the game, about what people think about the game, and of course improve the game based on that feedback. So far, with the alpha feedback they have been given, they have been really cool, and they've actually implemented quite a few things already from what the testers have asked them to add. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they continue with this over time. Once closed beta is over, founders packs will be gone. So if you want one of the school founders pack, be sure to get yours during closed beta time, because after that they will be gone forever. Some of the items they've said might be coming back after launch, but price-wise it will be probably more interesting to get the Founders Pack than actually buy them separately later on in the store. Stuff from the Founders Pass is literally only for Founders Pass, so we'll never be able to obtain it any other way than with the Founders Pass. This beta is going to be an actual beta, so yeah, the bug reports, the feedback that we can give as a community is going to be very important, so that they can make the game the best that it can be. Once the open beta and the launch are there, the game will go free to play, so do be aware of that. At launch, the game will be free to play and it will not be a pay to play game. It will have a battle pass system, it will have a store, so there will be ways to support the devs still with microtransactions. With that being said, I think we've covered the most important things about the closed beta and how it works, so we'll be stepping over to the game itself. Starting off with the roles in this game. They have the 3 basic classic MOBA, RPG, MMO type classes, meaning damage, support, and tank. Damage dealing or DPS, very clear to what their role is. Deal all that damage as much as you can. So there's a character you'll try and build around damage, attack speed, critical strikes, those kind of stats, so you can deal as much damage as possible, get those objectives as quickly as possible, to get those bosses down as quickly as possible, and basically actually make sure you guys win. A tank, of course, classic, is the one that takes on all the damage. They will try to hold the aggro so the others don't get murderized, but they are the ones that actually get murdered, unless of course the support does their role properly and, heals them over time. Then we have the support classes. There is your classic healers, of course, but also some crowd control going on. That is all I need to say about the roles, I think. Do know that they will sometimes have their unique take on some of the roles as well. We have just had the announcement of Clementine, the latest new support role that will be added to the roster later on into the closed beta. She will be cooking to buff her teammates. We've seen a little bit of this mechanic and it looks really, really cool. In the future, they are going to take their own other classes maybe as well down that same road and making them a bit more unique feeling and different feeling from other games. But yeah, we don't know yet what those other heroes are going to be, so we just know they're coming. Next up is the talents. At the start of closed beta, these talents will not be present just yet. This mainly because they're still tweaking them. Not every hero has a lot of talents just yet, so they want to make sure that once they add those talents to the game, that every hero has at least a second or maybe even a third talent tree to start messing about with, so people don't feel like, yeah, but that character is worthless because they don't have a talent tree. During one of the alpha tests, we actually got to try them out. It was a really cool take to see, for instance, Lotus, who is a healer, become all of a sudden the best DPS there was as well. She became OP. She was already OP, and with her talents, that was even worse, you could say. These talents will influence how your character plays, basically. So they might give you some extra damage, some extra health, some attack speed, things like that, but they can also change the way your skills work. Best examples for those are Sky, for instance. She has her ground rune, which is an AoE that will damage after X amount of seconds the enemies that are within that AoE. With one of her talents, you will actually be able to also heal your allies that are within the ground rune. So she all of a sudden becomes support, even though she's a DPS. And with some of her other talents, you can build on that support role for her and make her an even better healer. Kane, on the other hand, is also DPS, but he has this talent where he will, after X amount of attacks, I believe it is, will be able to put a buff on his allies. So their attack speed goes up, basically making it easier to deal even more damage in a shorter period of time, which can be very handy in certain situations like the head-to-heads at the end of a game. Lastly, I'll be talking about hero scaling. Hero scaling is something you might be familiar with from other games like MOBAs, like MMOs, where you basically have your base stats, and by upping one stat, you will have a skill that deals more damage, for instance. Or by upping another one, your attack speed will go up, or your cooldown will go down, things like that. So it's going to be very important to read your character's skill description, but also to pay attention to the colorings of those skill descriptions, because each skill will have like a few words in a different color, and those colors will correspond with the color of one of the stats. So for instance, physical damage has an orangey kind of color. A good example of this is Riva, her axe throw. In the description of that, you will also see orange words, meaning that if you up your physical damage, the damage of that skill will also go up. Or magic damage, the color would be blue. If you look at Oria's targeted strike, it has some blue words in it, so upping your magic damage will also make that skill better. You can also always check your own stats by pressing the B key while in game, so you can always make sure you pick the right shards and everything to make your character the best it can. So this game, with both the talent system and with the shards, you can do so much for your heroes scaling, for your damage that you're putting out there, so your character can feel really unique to your playstyle and make it so that the other teams might have to, adapt their style a little bit, which is really, really cool. I think with that, I've said everything I need to say. Thank you so much, Daddy Has, for having me. I will be crawling back into my little cave. No, I won't. I'm gonna be streaming more regularly again, seeing I just took a break for a couple of months because of real life getting in the way. So if you want to hear me rambling on some more about games, and Evercore Heroes will definitely be one of those on my streams. Make sure to follow me on CND at Twitch. Same name also on Twitter, and I have a YouTube channel which has all the VODs of my old streams, so it's a bit of an archive. There's a lot of indie games in there that, in my opinion, are undervalued or the bigger crowd has never heard of, but that are definitely worth checking out, so make sure to go check that out. You will also see games like that on my streams, so if indie games are something that you like to see, or Evercore Heroes is something you'd like to see, please be sure to follow me on Twitch as well. And with that being said, bye bye!
And thanks, Izzy, for helping out with my video. But that said, as I said, there's now going to be a 2-part video. Stay tuned for the next video that will be coming out in a couple of days. Should be just on time or just after the closed beta open on the 20th. So stay tuned for that, where we'll be covering some of the basics of understanding the map and the core gameplay aspects of the game. So, that said, stay safe and take care, motherfuckers. Peace.